Prime Minister calls for a global war on gangs, breaks ground for improved water supply, and hands over NSHP houses across Westmoreland. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Jabertha Atkinson. Welcome.
We need a global consensus that will create a global war on gangs.
This was the charge to stakeholders by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness last week as he addressed the National Security Council seminar. As chair of the council and Minister of Defense, Dr. Holness argues that gangs in Jamaica and elsewhere do not operate in isolation. He stresses that they constitute a sector of a regional network of criminal organizations that strengthen each other through cooperation and trading in arms, drugs, and intelligence. The Prime Minister says that this syndicate has placed countries at war with each other, and once the threat is accepted as transnational, countries must jointly embrace a greater security cooperation and reciprocity.
In some ways, we need an international cooperation similar to the global war on terrorism. We need a global consensus that will create a global war on gangs, that will treat with them in the same way that international effort was mobilized in creating standardized legislation across jurisdiction, dealing with finances of gangs, but coordinating how exceptional and emergency powers are used to deal with these criminals who hide under the protection of being citizens of a country.
Dr. Holness adds that more also needs to be done to ensure stronger maritime and border security cooperation among Caribbean states. In particular, the sharing of shipping intelligence for commercial freight, which is critical to improving the detection of smuggled firearms.
Within the Caribbean, we must therefore accelerate the implementation of a comprehensive regional intelligence sharing mechanism that enables real-time information exchange on the movement of arms, narcotics, and criminal actors across borders.
Meanwhile, to further strengthen our border protection against transnational crime, the Prime Minister reveals that the government is close to finalizing a customs mutual assistance agreement with the United States. This will establish a legal framework for the Jamaica Customs Agency (JCA) and the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Agency to exchange information. The agreement will also strengthen both countries' capacity to safeguard their citizens, borders, national security, and vital economic interests.
After negotiations with our U.S. counterparts in October last year, Jamaica is now advancing the proposed agreement to the final stage of our internal approval process, which includes cabinet approval. Intelligence sharing of this sort is no longer optional if we wish to thwart transnational organized crime and secure the region.
Dr. Holness says the government will continue to build on the investments being made, such as maritime patrol aircraft, offshore vessels, radars, and scanners.
Now, we are going to make a significant investment in ensuring that we have all the scanners in our ports, so that a higher percentage of containers and goods coming into Jamaica can be appropriately scanned. We have given a directive to the Customs Agency to ensure that there is, through various public-private partnership modalities, that there is a full rollout of all the scanners we need for all our formal ports of entry. We will take responsibility for stopping the illegal guns coming into Jamaica.
Prime Minister Holness broke ground last week, signaling the start of work on the Whitehall to Newmarket water supply project. The $342 million project will benefit approximately 8,000 residents and expand the reach of the National Water Commission (NWC).
The NWC is pursuing two objectives. The objective that today's groundbreaking falls under is the objective of expanding the NWC's footprint. Because with this project, the Whitehall to Newmarket stretch never had NWC potable water before. Now you will have it.
Dr. Holness says the other objective is for the water agency to increase the reliability and efficiency of its service. 4 families in Westmoreland are the latest recipients of new abodes, courtesy of the new social housing program NSHP. Prime Minister Andrew Holness was in the parish on Friday to present the homeowners with their keys.
I'm saying a big thank you. I am so grateful for a dream come true.
He used the occasion to reiterate that units built under the NSHP are owned by the beneficiaries, while also emphasizing that they are not reclaimed by the government. Dr. Holness sought to further clarify what the government has said is false and misleading information being circulated online stating otherwise. A key requirement of the program is that beneficiaries must provide the land on which the units are built. This must be proven by way of land ownership, long-term lease, or granted permission, supported by legitimate claims such as a deed of gift.
And usually, we will accept leases that are considered long-term lease. And long-term leases are usually over 40 years, 50 years and more, because that ensures that the home that is built on the land stays with the beneficiary. So the new social housing program does not reclaim any house. Indeed, it couldn't, because once the house is constructed, it becomes the property of the person who either owns the land or has authority to use the land for the long term.
And finally, as customary at the start of each year, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness meets with heads of departments and agencies for an update on projects being worked on and those to come on stream. This is also critical as the new budget season approaches. Last week, he met with the National Water Commission and its subsidiaries, the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, the National Housing Trust, and the Urban Development Corporation. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.